Hey, it's Benji Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio and host of the syndicated talk show, People of Distinction. The talk that gives you an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. Run to our website, alcoleenterprises.com for more info. Email me through benji@alcoleenterprises.com if you'd like to get involved with what we have going. And as always, please continue to like and follow our broadcasts. People of Distinction is internationally syndicated solely due to the love and support that you all continue to give. We're available across all major distributors, and as long as you keep following, we're going to continue to put out the content. Now sit back and strap in, because on the line with us today, we have the impressive Joyce Bolton. And we're going to be discussing her amazing children's book, What is God? A Rusty's Neighborhood series. Now it's available for purchase through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and a whole host of other places. Simply type it into a search bar and you're going to be greeted with all of them. Now remember, you got to type in the full title, all right? What is God is the main, but also that subtitle, A Rusty's Neighborhood series. This is going to give you everything you need. And before we go any further, I want to take this opportunity and quickly point out the fact that Joyce was brought to us by one of the best publishing firms in the business, ARP. Now, people, if you're a writer out there listening in, you've developed this masterpiece, but now you need some help moving it. Well, you can't do any better than Author Reputation Press, people, because this is exactly what they specialize in. Head on over to authorreputationpress.com and gather all the ways that their fantastic team is going to help you do just that. And listen, it is a true pleasure to have Joyce here on the line. Now, right there in that main title, What is God? That's going to give you a lot of insight into the conversation at hand today. People, imagine trying to explain the universe's biggest mystery to the world's smallest philosophers. And of course, I'm talking about kids, you know. What is God tackles this cosmic question with wisdom, with whimsy, with illustrations that make the divine feel as close as a bedtime story. I mean, I'll tell you, this is not just a children's story. This is a conversation starter. It is going to have a wonderful impact on you, on your children, and those around you. And for that reason, I promise you, there are so many adults out there that can benefit from this book as well. The conversations are meant for our kids, but it is as gratifying for everyone that picks it up. This is something you need to add to your shelf. And once we begin discussing it, you're going to understand why I say that. Sit back, strap in, and have your notebooks ready. Joyce is about to put you onto some game. And this is really going to be a fun conversation to have. See, you know what you got to do. Joyce, first and foremost, welcome to People of Distinction. And thank you very much for being a guest. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, and thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Of course. We appreciate you writing this book, and we appreciate you even more for being here with us to discuss it. So this is something I know a lot of people are going to benefit with. So thank you for being here to showcase it. Let's start off by learning more about yourself as a great foundation. Tell us more about your background.
Okay, well, first of all, you don't need anything in your background to know anything about God, But, I mean, to set that aside, I actually live in Florida right now, and I would have to say that I am an outdoors adventurer, so I like to spend all my time outside, and I love the environment, and I love all sports, so I spend a lot of time in my head as well as being outdoors, keeping myself busy, and those are the stories I tell myself, so that's kind of how I got into writing stories, because I don't know, my mind works that way. It makes up stories as I participate in life.
Absolutely.
I love the warm weather, and I live in Florida right now. I'd have to say that my daily motto is that listen to great music every single day, and fill your day with laughter as much as possible, and always do the right things. And that's about it.
There you have it. Well, Joyce, again, welcome to People of Distinction, and we're thoroughly looking forward to this discussion. I want to start off first and foremost with inspiration. Listen, you are by no means the first person to write a book about God and analyzing this monumental figure, this omnipresent force Well, what inspired you to write it and also write it for children specifically?
That's a big question. Obviously, the inspiration to writing is God, right?
Yeah.
But it comes from, I love God very much. I'm sincerely saying that from the bottom of my heart. I fell in love with God when I was 4, and I just kept growing in love with God throughout my entire life. 66 now. And God has been with me every single day of my life, has blessed me with so many opportunities, friends, and challenged me, and has given me so many rewards. I just thank God for, I can look back and just thank God for every month of my life. And when I look out at other people who are struggling or maybe, talking about their lives, it hurts me to see that others may not have any knowledge of God and they don't understand what they're missing, that they're missing the best loving support in their life just because they don't know. So I really wanted to get a message out there. It's not hard. It's not hard. God is not hard. But there is a secret to learning and building a relationship with God. And I put that little secret in my book. I hope you can find it. But I desire to show God how much I love him, and as we all should be doing. And to do that, you have to love one another. So my giving back, so to speak, is writing the book, hoping that I can give something to others that may need it out there, how to start the conversation of God, something about learning about God for all people, all ages, and particularly starting with the very young.
Absolutely. Joyce, my follow-up question that I want to go into is something that is tied to the answer that you just gave. And I think it's something that, like you mentioned, this is for all ages. It may have been written with children in mind, but like you said, and like I mentioned in the opening, this is something that a lot of adults are going to find so much benefit in as well. Well, my next question is really going to get to the heart of things that I know so many people, myself included, has asked at one point or another. Well, as a parent myself, children, I witnessed this firsthand. Children famously ask why. I mean, they just get to a point in their lives where, man, that question just comes out for just about everything. It's just, why this, why that? And it's, it's fun at first, but it can become very challenging.
Well, that's what my book is. That's my story. Rusty is an 8-year-old boy, and he his best friend goes to Sunday school regularly and is very involved in Sunday school, which makes Rusty thinking, what is this God all about? He's heard of it, but he doesn't really understand it, so he realizes he doesn't truly understand what God is. So he goes seeking the answer from his mother. He asks his mother to help him, and together his mother, who doesn't know that much about God herself, they set off on a journey to discover and learn what God is. Luckily, his mother has some skills in guided discovery, which is my favorite type of learning. Mm-hmm. Which means that, helping the child guide or helping each other guide through discovery, but really the unknown is what gives us the answers, and we're receptive to everything that comes our way. But the story addresses the whole spectrum of human understanding about the divine, and it offers a comforting and insightful approach to a very complex subject.
Well, listen.
I can say that the story is designed for all readers of all ages, especially those who are struggling to put the concept of God into words, like you were just saying.
Yeah.
And also those who think they know the answer, and those who seek to explain it to others, all the above.
Well, listen, because of all of this, Joyce, that is the next question that I want to ask. And it's difficult to answer, or maybe it isn't. But I'd love to know this age-old question of, how do we know God is real?
Yeah, I answer that in the book. You have to read my book. I answer that, and because that's one of the things that Rusty asks in the book. So that's everybody. Everybody always asks that. Okay, and it's a very, very answerable question, but I'm going to tell you it's in the book. I'm not going to give you, I can't spoil everything. But yes, I answer that question. Yes, I do answer that question.
I appreciate it, Joyce. People, listen, Joyce is a marketing expert, okay? I tried to get it out of her. You all heard me. I made the attempt, but she's too smart. She saw it coming a mile away, and she's batting 1,000. She knocked it out of the park. So you know what you got to do, all right? It's Amazon. It's Barnes & Noble. The book is called What is God? A Rusty's Neighborhood series by Joyce Bolton. Head on over there today, pick up your copies, and get lost in this amazing book, because questions like that and so many others are going to get tackled along that journey.
Well, Benji, I'm going to cheat a bit. I'm going to, every writer, they write something and they hope that their readers are getting something out of the book, and they hope that their writing is moving their readers, is actually reaching their readers and stuff. And I have been getting a lot of reviews. I just have a couple of reviews I want to read to you, because when I read the reviews, I was really, really touched. As a writer, they are hitting the nose. They're hitting it right on the nose. They are telling me how they feel. And I think that if I read a couple of these, this will show the audience what the book really, what it's bringing out. What are the feelings? What is it helping doing in their life? Mm-hmm. And so this is an adult, and as the reader number one, he says this is an exceptional book for families seeking to discuss the concept of God in a manner that is accessible, engaging, and thoughtful. Joyce does an excellent job of breaking down a complicated concept into terms that children can understand, while still making it meaningful for adult readers. Rusty's curiosity and his mother's gentle guidance create a beautiful balance that encourages open dialogue about spirituality. The book is a must-have for any family looking to explore faith together. Then I have a spiritual educator. Now, this is somebody who actually educates in spiritual guidance. It says, I believe What is God offers an incredible, compassionate, and respectful approach to discovering spirituality with young minds. The simplicity of Rusty's questions, paired with the mother's wise and loving responses, makes this a perfect tool for initiating conversations about faith in a safe and loving environment. This is a book that will resonate with families of all backgrounds, regardless of religious affiliation. And I made that specifically written so that all religions are accepted in my book. You know, it's not doesn't give any kind of religious indication in my book. It's just concepts. Okay, so it's open to everybody. This one is a teacher, and they read the book with their class of young students, and it sparked some of the most profound conversations I've had with children about spirituality. The book is so gentle and thoughtful, and it resonated with all of us. Rusty's innocence and his mother's wisdom made me reflect on my own spiritual journey. I wholeheartedly recommend this book for any teacher or parents looking to introduce children to the concept of God in a way that's meaningful and compassionate. This is a grandmother. She says, as a grandmother, I found What is God to be a precious story to read with my grandchildren. It's not just a book for children, but for everyone who has ever wondered about the meaning of God in their lives. It felt like a loving conversation, one that I will remember for years. And it's a reminder that faith is something we can only explore no matter what our age.
Joyce, this offers so much, and I thank you for reading those, because it offers a lot of insight of how others are interpreting it and picking it up. And my final question that I want to ask, because, you know, listen, there are going to be skeptics out there for everything. It doesn't matter what it is that you're saying, what it is that you're doing. There's always going to be those naysayers. There's always going to be those skeptics. And as I mentioned, as a father myself, I can recognize that kids are very curious. And I love that within them. And we as parents, as educators, as adults, we should nurture that curiosity and never squelch it. Well, for the skeptics out there, as we close out, What do you say to those that are questioning why you would even introduce God to children at all?
Oh, well, first of all, I mean, before you ever judge anything, I mean, anything in life, you always have to learn about it before you can make a proper judgment of it. You know, you have to know something about the subject matter before you know whether you're going to dismiss it or you're going to accept it as truth. If you don't know anything about God, how can you do that? You can't dismiss God without learning about God. So right there, it's really everyone's responsibility to find out about God in order to make a correct decision. And that's all I'm asking them, right?
Right.
I mean, but there's an easy way to start, which is what I'm introducing in the book, that is successful for everyone. But I have never met anyone who has researched and worked, which is what you have to do if you want a relationship with God. You have to maintain it. It's not something that it's not God's job to come and search you out. I mean, you need to go search God out. That's it.
Absolutely.
And if anybody is doing that, they don't have bad experiences. You know what I mean? They don't have bad experiences. I mean, their life it turns out to be better. I can't answer all the questions for everyone, and I don't know that there's anybody on the planet that can, but I do know that each and every one of us is an individual. Nobody's going to think the way you think.
Yeah.
Not a single person in the back of the history, no one in the future, nobody. You are an entity all by yourself. God gave you that right. It's infinity. And so why worry about what others think? Nobody's going to agree with you. Why even bother with it? Just find for yourself, for your individual self, what is right for you, what is going to help your life, what is going to help you bring goodness to the world. So when you wake up in the morning, what kind of goodness are you going to bring to the world? And when you end your day, what did you bring to your day? What love and goodness did you bring to the world that you just were in? And if you didn't have anything that you brought, then you're not seeking God. I mean, why do you think it's going to come your way if you're not putting in your part in bringing it to everyone else?
Exactly. Listen, it's a great point. We all have a part to play. And this is why I think your book is so powerful because, listen, at the end of the day, it's going to be a conversation starter. It's going to start some dynamic and pretty profound conversations. People, this is why, man, you got to head on over and pick up your copies. One last time, it's Amazon, it's Barnes & Noble. The book is called What is God? A Rusty's Neighborhood series by Joyce Bolton. This is one you need to add to your shelf. Trust me when I tell you, whether you're a parent, a curious kid at heart, or someone who's ever looked at the stars and wondered, this book is going to leave you seeing the sacred in the everyday. So if you're ready to explore how to talk about God in a way that's as fun as it is profound, this is the book for you. You need to add it to your shelf. You need to embark upon this journey with your children and with those around you as well, because it's going to help you to truly change your perception, or maybe not even. It's going to help you revitalize the conversation around it. And I think that is so key to all of this. You know where to go. Pick up your copies today. That's all we're going to say on it. Joyce, this has been magnificent. This has truly been a pleasure. Thank you once again for being a guest on People of Distinction.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.